think that there is that defining moment, that flash of light, experience, and things change. And then instantly things are different. But look at Jacob here. He's on the run. He's not a great guy. We know he's not a great guy, just in the part that we know already. Not a great guy. He's running away from his brother Esau, who's chasing him, and he stops in the wilderness on the way to his family in Haran. And he stops for the night. He finds, the expression, he finds a stone for a pillow, it's an expression. Really what it means is that in the wilderness in those days, it really behooved you to find somewhere to spend the night where you could put your back against something because of not just wild animals, but there were all sorts of people on the road who would be quite happy to take whatever you had, even if it was next to nothing. So you found yourself a spot, maybe with a large rock or some sort of outcropping or something from a bunch of other rocks, and that's where you put your back. So they had to come at you from the front. So he lies down, he has a dream. And the dream is the famous Jacob's ladder. And there are all sorts of traditional explanations of what the ladder means. But see, I like to think that it's really quite simple. The ladder means that heaven and earth are connected. That when God says, I am with you, I am with you. We're connected. There's a very, very fine line, and we're connected. God's there. And God says, look what I'm going to do with you. And Jacob wakes up, and wow, obviously God is here, right in this spot. And he sets up this stone that he was just had his head on, or back to whatever it was. He sets it up, and he anoints it. And of course, anointing is a sign of making holy. This is a holy and special place. God visited me. God is here. I will mark it. And then off he goes on the rest of his journey. I've always been fascinated by this story, and not because of the ladder, not because God visits Jacob and says, yeah, I know what kind of person you are, Jacob, but still, I'm going to do something awesome with you. That's not what fascinates me about this story at all. It's the thing that nobody really notices very much because it's just mentioned in passing. What did he build? Who said that? Thank you. Yes, it is. It's an Inukshuk. The thing that you so frequently see, that we so frequently see, or that you might even have in your garden, we do actually, we have one. It's not an Inukshuk. It's an Inukshuk. And there's a difference. And this is why this story fascinates me so much. The thing that you see so frequently everywhere that in fact, it was, remember the Olympics in Vancouver? Part of their logo was an Inukshuk, not an Inukshuk. Here's why. The difference is an Inukshuk is a memorial. It means literally a figure that looks like a person. An Inukshuk is a figure that acts like a person. And the difference is that the first one, the Inukshuk, is a memorial. It's something that you have to remind you of something that was. And Inukshuk shows you the way. Right? That's the point of building them, is that either there's a hole in them somewhere and the hole shows you where you're going to the next one. Or they might put messages in there. Or there might be food even. But the point of it is quite literally that. It points the way. It shows you where to go. It's not just a marker that says, I was here. It's a marker that says, I was here and now I'm over there. That's the way. I don't think that Jacob built a marker that was a memorial. I think he laid the foundation for his own future with it. I think he built an Inukshuk. Because the point of him doing that wasn't just to say, God was here, God visited me, I'm done. That's that moment. It's done. It was, this is the beginning. He might not have known it at the time, that this was the beginning of something. But this was the beginning of his moment. You know that flash of light that Saul had and then things were instantly different? This is Jacob's moment. It's not a flash of light that changes everything instantly. It's the beginning of change. It's the beginning of the future, the next piece. So, in your life, do you find that you're kind of like Saul, where you have that flash of light and things are different? Or do you find that when you experience God, God is more like a nudge in the right direction? God is more like, that moment is more like the beginning. You might look back on it and go, I remember when this all started. It was this moment.